so much for coming. My name is Matt Fox, and this is Break a Read. Today, I have four very special guests, Versa Quartet, the 2020 NASA winners. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good?
Great.
Well, are you guys aren't in the same spot, right? You guys went home and stuff?
No.
All over the world.
Yeah.
Would you guys mind
think
telling me
I'm
where
the-
you are?
I'm the only one that's still in Urbana area, right? Yeah, you guys all went back home.
Yeah.
I'm still in Urbana.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'm back in Georgia, which is where I'm from. I'm staying at my dad and stepmom's house in
Okay.
the suburbs of Atlanta.
Cool.
I'm back in Dallas, Texas.
Awesome.
Where it's super hot, just like you, Matt. And
Yeah, it's very hot here. At least, is it like humid where you live?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just super dry and super hot here.
It's starting to get humid in Urbana now, but I can't even imagine what it's like in Georgia right now. I'm sure it's like
It's just nasty.
it just sounds. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Good
in Texas too. I'm in a town called Longview, Texas, which is near Dallas.
Okay. Cool. And that's where you guys are from originally, or no?
I'm originally from Houston, Texas, outside of Houston.
Okay.
I'm from like a small town called Bee Colony. I promise I'm not in a cult. I always have to tell people that it's a suburb just north of Dallas. So.
Okay. Cool. And Michael, is there any chance you can turn up your mic a little bit? It's a little quiet. I don't know if it is for anyone else
Yeah,
coming through.
Yeah, you're a little quiet, Michael.
Test 1 2 3.
It's better.
Yeah, that's better.
1 2 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh. Yay!
Awesome.
Wait, can we zoom
Claps.
react? Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I haven't
Yes.
Zoom reacted through that yet. That's awesome.
Yes.
There you go. I was wondering if you guys could tell me a little bit about yourselves as, individual players. Maybe like something that led you to where you are now in your musical journey.
Maybe I can go as I haven't said where I'm from.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not actually from Urbana. I'm from Hagerstown, Maryland. It's in western Maryland, about an hour and 20 north of DC.
Okay.
So I did my undergrad in music education at Indiana University of Pennsylvania in western Pennsylvania. It's about an hour northeast of Pittsburgh. And then I did my master's at Youngstown State University in eastern Ohio.
Okay.
And then I spent 2 years in Paris studying with Jean-Michel Goury at the Conservatoire in Boulogne-Billancourt. It's like the west of Paris. And then I am in my third year of the DMA at Illinois.
That's awesome.
So I'm all but dissertation now as of the end of the semester.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Zoom react.
So yeah, claps. So hopefully I'll finish the project up over the summer into the fall and then finish in the spring is the plan. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, I didn't expect to be doing performance or like pursuing like performing mainly or like even pursuing teaching in higher education, which is like all graduate saxophone tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna be a high school band director, like I feel like a lot of people going into music education, and then if you all know Barcata Quartet, the Barry player Jarrett Polyblank, not Jared, Justin. Jared's his brother. Sorry, I was friends with Jared. Well, I was friends with both of them, but Justin is in the Pershing Zone and Barry player in Barcata. He came and did a master class and played for us because he did his undergrad at IUP, and
Cool.
that was like a really inspirational moment. And I decided I wanted to try to do the performance track. So I feel like I was a little behind the ball, but going to Youngstown, Jim Umble, he pushed me, and just I had the time to practice, so I just practiced a lot. He was like very, very supportive of anything I wanted to do, and gave me a lot of confidence. I didn't have a lot of confidence. So doing that and then having the opportunity to study in Paris, I think was pretty pivotal. I feel like it just gave me more time to practice, and I was really fortunate to have funding to be able to be there. So yeah, there were like 3 big moments, especially Justin coming to IUP. And he's a great guy. So
That's awesome.
I was probably around in 7th grade when we were playing a band piece, and I was like second chair or something to an 8th grader, and my band director was like, "Well, Scott, why don't you play that solo real fast?" And I did, um, and everyone was like, "Hey, that was pretty good," and I was like, "Hey, I might be like to me, I'm finally good at something like this." And so, like, my siblings were great at sports, and unfortunately I wasn't. And so saxophone and music was sort of like my outlet. And so going into high school, all of the high schoolers were like, "Hey, you got to take lessons with Aaron Martinez." Aaron, he taught me for 4 years in high school. He teaches at Houston Baptist University. He's a woodwind instructor, and Sam Houston also as a woodwind instructor. But taking lessons with him for sure sort of solidified my path of being a musician. I didn't know I wanted to, what I wanted to do in the long run, but I knew I wanted to keep playing. And then Dr. Nathan Knabb. He actually came to, he started at Stephen F. Austin State University in Texas in 2010, and that was my freshman year in high school. And he actually, the woodwind quintet from SFA, the faculty woodwind quintet, they brought Dr. Knabb with them, and they toured schools, and they came to my high school, and at the end, Dr. Knabb played with them, and he played an arrangement of Mio's Scaramouche. He played the Brasileira of the third movement. And we all knew that. Everyone in all the saxophone players in the high school knew that. And so I was like, I gotta go meet him. And so I went to band camps with him, and he sort of like recruited me to go to SFA. And so yeah, that pretty much sort of began my career, I guess.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you just finished up your master's, right?
That's right. Yeah. I just finished my master's at the University of Illinois with Professor Deborah Richtmeyer. That's where we're all
congrats.
Thank
Reaction.
you.
Yeah.
I'll be starting my doctorate of musical arts in the fall of it.
Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah.
So I started off just, as any young boy. Well, not every young boy, but I played a lot of video games all the time.
The American Dream, Michael Chamba.
Yes. I would always play Halo games, and I played that so much. And then I didn't really get involved in sports until like 7th or 8th grade. And the coach, I wasn't the best by any far, but the coach was like, "Hey, like you're really strong. You should consider powerlifting in high school." I think I guess he just saw something in me. I don't know what he saw, but he was like, "I think you can do really well." And so I actually started training for that in late middle school, and I was set to be at the high school starting that, and it was something kind of similar to what Scott discovered. Like, it's something I'm actually good at. Someone like actually recognizing me for this. In the middle of training at the end of the spring semester before the summer, before freshman year of high school, I ended up tearing my hamstring.
Oh no.
That kind of ruined my path at that time to go into powerlifting, because it was pretty bad, and I never really recovered that well. Okay. I actually didn't go see a doctor, but I kind of just laid down and let it heal, put some icy hot on it, a couple kisses. Yeah. But I'm here now, but that's when I really started just to get into band, and a similar situation happened. Like I was put in the top band, I guess my sophomore year or something. And, that was going fine and all. That was I wasn't good at that other thing anymore, but I was, I guess I was decent at this thing. And then a couple of my friends went to the Stephen F. Austin State University band camp over the summer, and they came back and they were like, "Oh, Dr. Nathan Knabb, he's a new on faculty there, and he's amazing. He's doing so much like great things. He's a great performer." And they would send me his like YouTube videos, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And I wasn't really sure if I wanted to, pursue that path, but I was like, I'm not doing anything this next summer besides playing Halo. So I'm just gonna go try this. And just meeting him, I'm sure everyone can attest to this, especially with this these online studio class meetings now. But he's just a great person, very genuine. I've been so inspired by him ever since I met him, before I met him. And just to meet him, it was just, it sounds cheesy, but he was kind of like a fatherly figure. If you guys ever meet him for the first time, I guess at a younger age, you kind of get that vibe. I don't know, maybe just me. But I really just appreciated the way he, instilled motivation in everyone, all his students. So he really motivated me to, work hard. And he was like, I want you to audition here whenever you get out of high school. And I was like, oh, I'm not sure yet. But then I just kept working at it. I auditioned, and it was the only school I auditioned at. But thankfully I got in, and
worked out.
It worked out. Just like Scott said, he, constantly pushed me, just like all of his students. And at the end, I was really wanting to just be a band director. I got a bachelor's in music education.
Cool.
And I wanted to just pick the normal band director path. And that was fine and all. I was really excited to do it, but Dr. Knabb kind of motivated me to try out for grad school. And he was like, I think you have a good chance at it, so why don't you just try it out? And if things don't work out, you already have, a path. So
right.
I tried out, and he was always telling me, you got to audition at University of Illinois. You got to study with Professor Deb Rickmeyer. She's great. And so I auditioned there, and I was invited. Well, I sent in, the pre-screen just like we all do, and I was invited to audition there, and it was definitely kind of difficult because that's when I was student teaching.
Oh, right,
and,
yeah.
I was trying to prepare while I was doing that after 8 to 12-hour work days, and but I had some time to travel up to Illinois. I auditioned, and somehow I got in, and it was then and there that I felt like I had a chance at pursuing this performance path. So ever since then, I completed my master's there last year, and I'm going to complete my artist diploma at the end of this summer.
That's awesome.
Then next year, I'm going to study with Jean-Michel Goury. Wilson talked me into it. But I was thankful enough to, send him some audition tapes, and I was gracious enough to be accepted into the
That's
program.
awesome.
So I'll be there for the next school year.
So when are you moving?
Well, I'm planning on moving in September, but right now the COVID stuff has kind of put, a wall up, and
right.
So I'm kind of just waiting around. I'll get over there eventually. But until then, I'm planning to do a recital in July. So I got something to keep me motivated during these kind of unmotivational times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And Jack?
Yeah, so I guess like the reason I probably started playing saxophone, well, my dad plays the saxophone amateurly, and his dad was my grandfather was actually a professional jazz musician in Atlanta, but he passed away way before I was ever born. But it was always this kind of thing, like when I was really young, on the weekends, my dad, looking back probably after having a few beers, would take out the saxophone and play the same like 5 tunes that he always plays. But I always thought it was so cool. And so I got to middle school and I was like, I'm going to be in band and I'm going to play the saxophone. And I guess I had some, like we all do, then like kind of discover we have some sort of like natural ability towards this to do a little bit better than just like your average band student. So I started taking lessons with like a local guy. And then in 9th grade, I started taking lessons with Jan Berry Baker, who is the saxophone professor at Georgia State University. So I studied with her for 4 years in high school. And then I went there and did my undergrad with her. And I remember it was probably my junior year of high school when she was like, so what are you thinking about, majoring in college? And I was like, I don't know. And she was like, do you want to do music? And for some reason, when I was like 16, I thought the only 2 jobs in music were like band director or film composer. I was like, those are the 2 things you can do, and that's it. And I was like, I like band, but I don't want to teach band. I'm not like into that really. And she was like, well, what if you did something like I did, like what I do? I work at a college, right? And I was like, well, yeah, but I can't do that. And she was like, well, sure you can. So she talked me into majoring in music. I did the performance degree. So I've got that meaningless piece of paper in undergrad performance. And then from there, I did my master's at Stephen F. Austin State University with Nathan Knabb. And now I just finished my first year of my DMA with Deborah Rickmeyer here at University of Illinois.
That's so cool. I didn't know that 3 of you went to SFA.
That's right.
Yeah.
After I finish my DMA, I'm gonna go to FFA and get an artist diploma, so I can also study with.
Yeah,
Nathan
you need
Knabb,
to finish the circle.
Yeah.
That's my real plan after graduation. So.
That's so cool. Wow. Yeah, well, that's really great to get because I've met you guys I think on a couple occasions, but I've never actually heard your whole backstory, or at least the gist of it. That's really cool. What have been some things that you guys have been doing, maybe not saxophone related, or it is, whatever, that you guys have been putting your time and energy into during quarantine?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, just kind of, I don't know, just kind of relaxing, taking it easy. I'm with my girlfriend right now, and we're doing a lot of DIY projects, kind of up in her apartment. So that's pretty fun. Just kind of building stuff and trying to make the place look cool and nice.
Yeah.
And aesthetic and everything. So that's pretty much it. Can't really go anywhere. So
yeah.
I've been doing a lot of DIY and Animal Crossing. So.
Oh, awesome.
That's been a lot of my time actually, but it's been pretty therapeutic actually. So I'm pretty in deep to Animal Crossing.
How many stars is your island?
I have a 5-star island.
You have a 5-star island?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I was super into it at the beginning, and I got the 3-star, I got KK Slider, and then I don't know what happened. I just stopped, and my girlfriend keeps yelling at me because she has a 5-star island. She's like, you need to catch up. And I'm like, I just don't want to.
Yeah, it's it'll consume your whole life. It's actually, I feel like sometimes it's on the verge of being bad, how much I'm playing, but it's actually pretty cool musically. There's a lot of really interesting sounds, and you probably noticed that the instruments play in the same key as whatever music is playing in the background, which is kind of funny. And there's lots of noise with the little toys and chairs and shaved ice maker and the metronome and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's I've been in this noise improvisation group at Illinois this year with some faculty and students, and we've been still kind of staying in touch via FaceTime. We've been playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Awesome.
Via this online D&D Roll20, I think it's what it's called. You can video chat people, and there's a online interface with whatever the Dungeon Master does. It's actually pretty cool. But we're gonna do a live stream on Thursday because I started doing.
Oh yeah,
just
I
live.
saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually my birthday, so hopefully I can try and make it for a little bit. That would be cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll try to do something special for your birthday.
Yeah.
But I've been getting really into it. So I got a capture card to stream some. So we're gonna stream improvisation on Thursday. So each week I'm gonna try to do something, collaborate with somebody. So that's been a lot of my time outside of saxophone.
That's awesome.
I've just been burning a lot of candles.
Yeah.
Like, I love candles. I've never been home this much in my entire life. And so, burning a candle is a time commitment.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got to let it burn evenly. So it's nice to see the it's like working at something and I don't have to do anything except sit there and like I just watch the candle burn down. It's great.
It's like the most ideal situation. Right?
Yeah, that's been my number one priority in quarantine.
Time doesn't exist.
Man, I should
That's
try
awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't, just like Jack, I've never been home this long in my entire life. So I've been just being able to spend a lot of time with my family and my dog. I haven't really been doing much else. I've been playing a lot of video games. I've been playing Dark Souls. It's a really notoriously hard game, but now I have the patience to play it because I have a bunch of time. I've also been watching Netflix. I never watched Breaking Bad when it came out.
Oh, really?
I just finished it today, and it's
Nice.
such a good show. I've watched Ozark. Dead to Me. I finished The Good Place.
Oh, that's such a great show.
I've just been like a all-star couch potato, this whole time.
Awesome. This is the time to do it.
Where's the clap? Give a clap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Couch
welcome.
potato.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's great. I found that like the first couple of weeks of, when all the notifications started rolling in, like, oh, this is canceled. Oh, by the way, school's, 2 weeks online. Just kidding, it's the rest of the semester. It's like it just kept getting more and more like in your face. I found I had like no motivation. I didn't even like go to most of my Zoom classes for the first couple of weeks. Like I just laid in bed for like 3 weeks. But then actually it was Animal Crossing, which like kind of gave me something to at least hope to get better at. And then this project actually like kept me busy. But
Sweet.
yeah.
It was pretty surreal because Illinois shut down the school a couple days after we got back from NASA, and I just remember like we had just gotten back, and one of the professors was like, "So how long do you think it's going to take until like we leave?" Because at that point Harvard had already been released, and it was just kind of like we're not gonna leave, we're not gonna school, and then we had the spring break the week after that, and it was like complete change. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, I remember like I was out for breakfast. I just got a notification saying this meeting is going to end in 10 minutes.
Oh my God, we're going to have to do a two-parter.
Come on.
We might have to. Yeah, we might have to stop for a second. But yeah, I was out for breakfast and I just started seeing all these notifications on my phone like, what's happening? And then I get an email from MTNA that it was canceled, and like we were about to leave like in a week or something. It was really soon, and I just got so bummed at this restaurant, and then I started freaking out like, should I even be at this restaurant? And then I like ran home, and that was like kind of the tip of the iceberg for me.
Yeah, we had hotel reservations, just I'm sure as you guys did.
Yeah, we were gonna stay like at the hotel, the MTNA.
Yeah, we
one.
were too.
Yeah.
So we had to sadly just cancel reservation.
Yeah. I'm sure they got a lot of calls that day. Yeah. All right, I have a couple questions for you guys. Totally not music related. What is your favorite takeout order that's been comforting you throughout this time during quarantine?
Pad Thai.
Pad Thai.
By
That's
far.
specific.
Tofu Pad Thai.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
Yes.
I've gotten chicken korma from like an Indian restaurant nearby probably like 6 times in quarantine. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. There's this place. Have you guys been to Golden Walk
Oh yeah.
in town? Okay.
No.
Okay. I got their fried rice, tofu fried rice, like several times now, and you get so much food for like not that much money. It's really good. Michael's shaking your head.
It's like a family style restaurant, and they do
Oh,
like
okay.
dim sum too.
That's cool.
Okay.
And so
Yeah,
it's
when
really
you
good.
guys are back, you should check it out. It's been really good. Yeah.
Dang, you guys have had some like pretty. I've just been getting like In and Out or like Popeyes, just like your standards.
Come on, man.
I will admit, after our road trip to Arizona, when we stopped at that gas station that had a Popeyes and we all got the chicken sandwiches, we have been getting some chicken sandwiches recently.
They're so good. They're so good from Popeyes. Oh my god.
Did we tell you like how we drove from Champaign all the way to Arizona?
No, this is the first time hearing that you guys actually drove. That's a long drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucked a lot.
Did you guys have to carry like?
Yeah.
Did you have to bring a bass sax or something? Is that why?
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
studio horns.
Yeah, what we did, we were thankful enough that the school, this anonymous donor, paid for most of the travel expenses. But
Awesome.
what made sense was, well, to avoid all the airline fees with like the larger instruments, and just because we don't have like the protective, like, you know, bulky cases. So
Right.
we were just like, well, let's drive as graduates and do our duty, I guess. But we, it was funny. Oh my God. So we got to get a 2020 Escalade as a rental vehicle.
Okay.
And Wilson started off driving it. We were all going to just take shifts driving. And what was it, like 20 or 30 minutes out?
Yeah.
The two tires on the passenger side, front and back, just completely flat.
Oh
yeah,
no.
I got this signal on the dash that the one tire was starting to go flat, and then the second tire was starting to go flat. And I looked at Michael. I was like, "Is this real, or is this just like a malfunction in the sensor?" And then we got off, and yeah, lo and behold, both tires on the left side
Oh my
were
God.
completely flat.
Yeah.
And it had been within 24 hours of us booking the reservation. So I called the roadside service, and I think we just had a misunderstanding. So a tow truck driver came probably like an hour and a half after we had called, and it took him a while to change the tire because with the Escalade, the 2020 Escalade, the spare is like underneath, and there's like a special key to open it up and get the tire out. So he eventually got it out and changed one, and then he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave." And then we're like, "Wait, there's another tire that you have to change." He's like, "Well, I was only told there was one tire we had to change."
Oh no.
Like, what? Come on. So he didn't have enough room for all four of us in his tow truck. So he had to go back to the station and get another truck and come back and then
That's
tow
such
us.
a long process.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
It was like 2 hours of
Yeah.
us standing in the cold.
Yep. Yeah. Luckily, the car had enough gas so we could get in and stay warm.
Yeah.
But still, when we was changing the tire, it's
I just remember he had ketchup packets falling out of his pocket, like
did.
10 ketchup packets.
yeah.
And it was like 8 a.m.
And we're just like,
He
"Are
was
those
ready
ketchup
for
packets?"
lunch.
Yeah, he's like always ready in case he needed
Yeah.
condiments, but they were just like
Yeah.
all over the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting some like ketchup on my shoe. We like got back to the airport to get a new car, and I had ketchup like all over my shoe
Yeah.
somehow.
And that's the real tragedy
Yep.
of what happened that day, unfortunately.
exactly.
Oh my
It was
God.
the ketchup on the shoe that was like the worst part of it. So, but
Yeah.
we got back to the Champaign airport, and someone had just turned in some big Nissan SUV thing.
Armada.
And
The Nissan Armada.
yeah. The Armada, yeah, the Armada. And it just fit everything. In the Escalade, we had like a lot more leg room, but everything just fit, so we had to like squeeze.
Oh man, the rest of the trip.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
I'm so sorry. That's awful.
there was a bass sax, like what, 3 berries, 4 berries,
4 or 5 tenors.
Yeah, and
Oh
then
my God.
our like luggage and our instruments, like man, it was cozy. So we were supposed to stop halfway in the panhandle of Oklahoma, and we had a hotel reservation for that night, and then we were supposed to leave at like 7 a.m. to make it to Arizona.
Okay.
At night, but since that took 6 hours off our trip, the whole ketchup packet debacle. We got there, at like 2 a.m.? I can't remember. We only got like, 3. I don't know how many hours of sleep, but it was unhealthy. But I just remember like falling asleep, or when I was about to fall asleep in the hotel, like I set an alarm, and then like my phone said, "All right, this alarm will wake you up in like 2 hours." I'm like, great.
Yeah.
But we woke up next morning, just switched off, rotated a lot. That really helped, and we got to Arizona safe and sound. And then we celebrated by going to this Tex-Mex place. I forgot what was it called?
Margaritas.
Yeah.
It was called Margaritas.
I think so.
What was that town we weren't in Tempe?
Mesa.
Oh, Mesa. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But we had an extra day when we got there to like kind of recuperate, which was,
that wasn't the night before
good.
the competition.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That wasn't.
Yeah, which was good. I think we all needed it. And then on the way back, I asked if the rest of the quartet would be cool with us trying to go a little bit quicker to get back for my girlfriend's recital.
Okay.
The next day. So thank you. So I feel like that night in the Panhandle, we got even less sleep.
It was a nap.
It was basically a nap, and
It was a short nap.
Yeah, I volunteered to like take the brunt like the next day to like, and like I think that's the most Red Bull I've ever drank. Like
Oh my
I don't
God.
drink energy drinks. I think we were all drinking like bunches of energy drinks.
I was drinking like canned coffee, like a Monster, a Red Bull, and just like eating candy. Like I was like an 8-year-old, just like trying to have a sugar high, to like keep driving. But
yeah.
we, it's the whole thing's kind of a classic hero's journey if you really think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
The scenery was really cool though. Once we got to New Mexico, it started getting like really pretty, and I hadn't been to that part of the country before, and so it was awesome. New Mexico, Arizona is beautiful.
I've driven from Norman, Oklahoma to Tempe before in one sitting, and it was really cool to see the scenery change, because I'm from New York and it's super green there, and in Norman it's super green also, like grass, trees, and you start driving and you keep going and you're on I-40, and all of a sudden you see less and less trees and more dirt, and then you just keep going and it gets super pretty. It's a really nice drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one cool part of it. Scenery.
So I had another question for you guys. What is your favorite movie, like individually?
What if we had a quartet favorite movie? That would be cool.
That would be really cool. That's why I individually.
No.
Someone pick it. I'm bad at movies.
I know when I was in like high school, I tried to like sound smart and tell everybody that my favorite movie was like Blue Velvet, or like some David Lynch movie that was like really, like surreal or something, because I wanted to like look cool. But probably my favorite movie is Clue, the movie.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have ever watched it. I know some of you have not watched it. It's like it's a comedy from like the 80s, and it's like based on the board game Clue, but it's a romp and all kinds of fun. It pretty much defined my childhood, so check it out.
Mine, it's funny because the first time I watched it, I fell asleep through it because it's really long. It's called Cloud Atlas. It's a movie that's based off of a book, and it's about like past lives and future lives, and there's a little bit of action, a little bit of romance. You got your everything in there, but it's a long movie. It's certainly a long haul. I slept through it the first time I watched it, and then I gave it another chance, and I was like, wow, this movie is awesome.
That's cool.
I don't know if I have a favorite, and I have a really bad memory, but I think a recent movie I watched that was really good. It's been a while since I've seen just like a compelling film, in my opinion, and it's Parasite, that foreign film.
Yeah.
It's really good. If you haven't watched it,
I haven't seen it yet, but I definitely
it's
want
on
to.
Hulu if you have Hulu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's on my watch list. It looks really good.
It's a must.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty
Okay.
good.
Yeah, I'm not like a movie buff, so I don't know. I always feel like my favorite movie is like kind of meh, but I for some reason a while ago I was watching Catch Me If You Can,
Hmm.
the Leonardo DiCaprio a bunch of times. I don't know. There's something. I just think it's interesting. I like Leonardo DiCaprio, so I don't know. I think he's a good actor. But what do I know? I don't know anything about about acting. But I think he's pretty compelling in everything he does. But I like that movie. And yeah, big saxophone solo.
Yeah.
Not because of that, but I think it's a good movie.
What about you, Matt?
Cool. I think I'm in the same boat. Like, I don't know if I have, like, someone says to me, what's your favorite movie? I can't just go like that and give you a movie title. It might also be my memory. My memory isn't great either. But what did I watch the other day? I watched The Lovebirds on Netflix. I can't even remember.
Is it funny? I haven't seen it.
It's so funny. I can't even remember the actors in it, but it was so funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love birds. Okay.
The dialogue just like kept going, like always like longer than you would expect, and the conversations would just be a little like past the point of awkward, and it just like makes you uncomfortable to watch. But it was really funny. I liked it.
Sweet
Yeah.
deal. Nice.
Yeah. So, are you guys coffee drinkers or tea drinkers?
Coffee.
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 I even have some with me.
Nice.
There we go.
Michael, what
about
about you?
Oh, I said coffee.
Oh, you did?
Maybe
I didn't hear you.
Maybe
Okay.
my mic is like
Yeah.
What are you, Michael?
coffee.
Coffee. I just I got a espresso machine my mom sent me for my birthday. It's a Brim
Nice.
19 bar espresso machine, and I worked at a coffee shop for 2 years. So it
Nice.
was fun to be able to like do that again and like actually, tamp my own espresso and pull my shots. It was nice.
Yeah, doing espresso, that's intense. There's
Yeah.
like a lot of stuff you have to do. I'm into just like pour over coffee, like doing
Yeah.
that stuff, and I feel like that's like low maintenance sometimes, but I always see people making espresso and it just seems really complicated and you have to have like a bunch of stuff and like it's really
Yeah, I
touchy.
mean, it's not as complicated as I think you'd think. Like it's once you like do it for long enough, it's not that bad. And I was lucky. I learned how to do it like from a corporation, like Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. I don't know if you guys know. It's a California-based company. They have one here.
Okay.
And my freshman and
Okay.
sophomore and junior year, I worked there, and
Okay.
yeah, it was really cool to learn about like how to
Nice.
do all that stuff there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I have a couple more questions for you guys. Was there one rehearsal you guys had this year that you just like remember, whether it be for like a positive memory or a negative memory, just something that's just like super memorable that you might want to talk about?
I think there are a lot of rehearsals that we had that I remember. But one thing I will probably never forget is just like when we were working on Zos, and there's that terrible section where the alto and tenor are trading off the 7 over 5s.
Yep.
And I just remember like Wilson and I, like Scott and Michael just like sat down and we were just like going back and forth and like trying, just like I was probably crying. I was like, I can't get this. I don't know how this. I was like, no matter. And I was like, I like had my calculator. I was like doing calculations. I was like, okay, so if it's 7 16th notes in time of 5 16th notes, and we take that over 7 beats because it's in groups of 7 and this and that, and then we divide it by this. I was like, we can put the metronome on 20 beats per minute. That is 7 or whatever it was.
Jack.
And Wilson was like, I don't stop with the math. And I was like, I don't know what's happening.
I can't, like, it was like process overload, but honestly, like, Jack, like, I can't thank him enough for like that, a lot of Zos, and especially that moment, like, he did so much work with like figuring out the math stuff, because honestly, like, me personally, like, I don't think like that, but we needed to, and it was so helpful. But there were so many moments where we would do it, and I'm like, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Because like and then we would ask Michael and Scott, and they're like, Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, our part's a lot easier right there. And so we'd be playing, and Jack or Wilson would be like, I think that felt good. Did it feel good? And we're like, yeah.
Or like one time, like I would feel good and Jack would not, and then Jack would be like, "Yeah, that felt good." And I was just like, "That didn't feel good."
See, like in that piece, I never knew if Helios, if we were playing it right. I never knew. Like, if as long as we just got back on together after that section, that's all we cared about.
Yeah, there. Like, I think that piece, like, and you guys must have done this, but there were definitely like moments where maybe I think like each of us, and throughout the whole piece, had like was in charge of like keeping the time, or not keeping the time, but just showing where we were all supposed to be at some point.
Yeah.
And something I remember is when, I think one thing that really stuck out to me was when we played it for Professor Rickmeyer, because we were all terrified. Like, we were, she would always be like, every coaching, we have one every week, she'd be like, so what am I going to hear next week? Do y'all want to play Xenakis for me? And we're kind of like, well, we just need a little bit more time with it. And she was like, okay, I totally understand.
Yeah, because
there was
like tempo, our practice tempo was like 100 beats per minute equals the 32nd note. When she was like, let's hear Xenakis, and we were like, no.
But there was that coaching that I remember so vividly. Like, I think we were ready, but we were also like terrified. But we played it for her, and I was expecting her to, like, I don't know, tear us apart, because we, every quartet that prepared this for the competition knows that piece so well.
Yeah,
knows it probably better than anyone would ever know it. And so we knew like the parts that we messed up on, or like it wasn't super accurate. But whatever we finished playing, she was like, "Wow, that was great. Such great work, And like, I think what we did a really good job with was just staying together in like the style and just everything. Because the score, it's like impossible to read.
Yeah,
So what we wanted to do really was just sell it. I mean, like, of course we we worked hard to make it like technically accurate, but what we wanted to really strive for was like matching style and all the articulations. And so I think that's something that we felt like we did a decent job of, I guess, like all matching together,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I guess her thing was like, I'm not going to tell you how to count this. You can sit in a practice room and count it. Like, she was just really helpful with getting through, like, making the piece more
musical,
holistic and work and musical and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was really what set us apart in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, that piece, it's so easy to just let it be notes on a page and to just, get through it. But making it a musical statement and a musical line is, I think, what separates you from someone who plays all the altissimo correctly all the time. Like something that, makes the listeners actually, like, pay attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was us.
Yeah, that's us. I don't know, any other rehearsal memories?
One that I think that I thought of was in the fall. Our very first like major performance was playing the Balkan Concerto with our band.
Oh wow,
that was our first performance.
Oh my
god,
god,
very first one, playing a concerto for band. And so we walked into like the rehearsal, and most of us were in band anyways, in that band. And so I was like, okay, the saxophones they're gonna join us on Monday or whatever, and so we played, and it was a little difficult, trying to just match with get the band time, style, all of that with Balkan. Each movement's a little different, and so I was standing next to the director, and it was pretty fun just being like, hey, that's a little too slow, or like, maybe not that fast just yet. and him just like, all right, guys, you heard.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome, you guys. That was your first performance. That's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It was
they-
like right before we went on stage, I was like, "Do you guys realize that our first performance is like playing as a concerto, like in this like giant, like theater? What do you call that? A hall."
Yeah.
We were like, and they were like, "Oh, no, we hadn't thought about it."
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we were just kind of like doing a lot of work to get it ready and
Yeah.
stuff, and then we just had to do it. And like, oh yeah, this is our first. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really nice that Dr. Stephen Peterson programmed it for the next concert as well. So
Cool.
we got to play all of it. Maybe the first concert we left out the movement or something,
We
but
didn't play the third movement, I don't think.
yeah.
Okay.
But we got to play it again too, so that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we have a couple minutes left. I know you guys had some questions you actually wanted to ask me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Here's one.
Okay.
Favorite hobby outside of quartet?
Oh, yeah. That one's really hard because, like, I feel like I'm the type of person that doesn't have a hobby. I just have so many things, and my mind is always jumbled, like, always. So I'm always, like, I could be in one rehearsal thinking about something else, and I'm the same way with things I like doing. So I don't know if I have a specific hobby. I really like coffee and, like, learning, like, how to do espresso art and latte art and stuff like that.
Nice.
Biking, walking, going on hikes, especially when it's like not crazy hot out. Yeah, cooking, I guess. I don't really have like one thing that I'm super into.
Yeah. One of the others is, what is something interesting about you that not a lot of people know about?
Oh, so yeah, I really liked that question. So we were talking earlier about like your musical journeys and like what brought you to where you are now. Mine is a little different in the sense that I didn't really do much. I tried sports and everything, and it just didn't work out. I had Tourette's syndrome as a child, so I would have really frequent like full body tics and motor tics, and it was really hard for me to like do sports regularly, and music was really difficult. I had an experience where I actually went into like a band midterm audition in 7th grade, and I got so stressed out before I played a note, I didn't have my neck strap on all the way, and I had a full body tic, and my horn like flew and hit the wall. And I remember like looking up, and my teachers are just staring at my saxophone like in pieces on the floor.
Oh no.
And so that was kind of like a turning point for me. Learning how to cope with Tourette's and using music as a coping mechanism. And I quickly started, like whenever I had the horn and whenever I was thinking about playing or like in that like practice mode, for some reason I learned to stop ticking. And I think that kind of just, I was fortunate enough that it carried on into like everyday life. So I'd say that's something that not a lot of people know about me. I was fortunate in high school that my symptoms went away. So yeah.
Wow, that's inspiring.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, so last one. What is your favorite quote from your professor, Dr. Creviston?
See, this is tricky because I don't know. Like, okay, I'm gonna say one that's like 100% clean, like ready to go for YouTube.
Oh my
So Creviston, Dr. Creviston has this theory, and it's the throat, mouth, fingers theory. And it's something every time I'm practicing, whether it just be scales or like a sheet of music, I'm just always thinking about it. Because there are so many inconsistencies with the saxophone and the way it's built, I'm sure we all know. And like there are so many notes that just don't match the right timbre, so many notes that don't have the right intonation tendencies. And he always says that's the order in which you should go about manipulating things to get them to match more. So try using your throat. If you're playing going from like long tube D to an open C sharp, what can you do to make it match better? Try changing your throat. Okay, if that doesn't work, move your embouchure, move your mouth, which is something completely different than what I was used to in my high school teaching. Like I was told to never move my embouchure. Throat, mouth, and then fingers. Try a different fingering. So obviously open C sharp and D with the octave key is just two completely different like colors. So something that he has us do a lot is try matching using like long C sharp. So doing a low C sharp, flicking the octave key, and then using a combination of your throat, your mouth, and your fingers to find something that kind of reaches that middle ground. So just throat, mouth, fingers. I always tell myself that, like in the practice room. I'm just always thinking about that. But yeah, that's the biggest takeaway I've gotten from him in the past 3 years.
That's actually pretty helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Professor Myers would be something like whatever sounds the best and is easiest to do.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
We always joke in rehearsal, be like, well, I'm just going to do whatever sounds worse and is the hardest thing that I can do.
That's my favorite one.
Or, I'm frozen. Yeah. Or she'll always tell us, like, or with her, like, emotion is such a big thing. So she'll be like, what's your emotional roadmap? And it sucks to go into a coaching knowing what she's going to say but not knowing how to fix it. And then she tells you, like, despite knowing what she's going to say, she's going to make it smarter in the moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I know she's going to tell me this, but she's going to tell you it and tell you how to fix it. And we're like, okay, we still don't know anything. And she's way smarter than I'll ever be.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, awesome. It was cool that you guys wanted to ask me a couple questions. I really like that. Yeah, so it's about that time. Do you guys have your reads with you?
Yes.
Wait.
If you guys
can we do
like...
some plugging?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we do some shameless plugging?
Yeah.
Okay, so Scott and I have a duo, and right, Scott, I think we would like to plug our duo Instagram. We just made an Instagram page. We've got some exciting commission things that we've commissioned 3 composers, Lily Shababi, Yaz Lancaster, and Anthony R. Green. And I'm not sure when this is going to go out on YouTube, but the Instagram is live. We'll have a Facebook soon. And we've been just making some posts about those people we've commissioned. And so if you follow @VexDuo on Instagram.
Yeah, and I'll put that in the description too, so people can just...
Awesome.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, all right. Do you guys have any like stories about your reads, or is it just one that you grabbed ready to break?
I think this is a traditional that I've been using to play jazz on because
Okay.
I don't have any Jabas right now.
This is one of my old reads I had in rotation for Fish Off last year.
Okay.
But I just remember this one, I was about to use it, but it just didn't feel right. So I picked another one. But this one is definitely past due. It sounds like a dying cat. So
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, this one is it's about 6 months old now. And it was never good, but one that I always practiced on to not waste a good read. So I think it's time to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, this one I've got written PG on it, which for me means pretty good. And so not, great, not a good one.
Yeah.
So
All right, guys, you can feel free to break it however you want. You want me to count down?
Do it like to the camera.
Yeah, sure.
for me.
All right, 3,
Are we
2,
doing this? Okay.
1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect.
That's awesome.
Look at this thing. Scott, what are you-
It's so different seeing 4 reads being just smooth, like just one. That's awesome. Well, guys, it was so awesome to have you guys on today and to chat for a bit. And I'm sorry it ended up being like an hour-long ordeal with Zoom crashing out on me, but this was so awesome.
No, thank you
Thanks
for the
having us.
invitation.
Yeah,
and
thanks, man.
congrats to Helios, by the way, for winning silver.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
Fish
yeah.
Off
Thank you
competition.
so
That's
much.
awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Congrats to you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. That
Sweet
means
deal.
a lot.
Well, have a good summer. Tell the rest of your quartet we said what's up.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
will do.
Awesome.
All right, guys. This was awesome.
Good to see you.
Take care. Yeah, good to see you too.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, Matt.
3, 2, 1. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's awesome.